My people, welcome to the Kinetic PE Mix Show on WTLB. This broadcast Transform You Radio, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we got a very special guest for you guys today. We're gonna be talking a little bit about Southern, the new flavor of Southern trap and soul that's brought to you by this particular artist. We're gonna dive deeply into who he is a little bit, and also just chop some shop. As I always say, and of course, if you got any questions and you want to put something in the comment section, you want to give some instant feedback, that is available to you right now. So stay tuned, stay locked in. Be right back. Okay. All right. So we are back after that quick one. Let me just take this off. I got our artist flyer. His one sheet up on the screen here, so you guys can get a feel of who we bringing in. He's right here below me. However you are listening, however you are watching, you'll be able to check it out. But if you are listening, make sure you do go and check out the YouTube version of this too, so you can catch that later. So we got performer artist DirtyWhite. He's bringing that blend of soulful vocals with a southern trap feel. He's available on all platforms at 30F White. So make sure you do connect with him, get locked in with him. He's open for interviews and other media placements, and get him booked. Definitely get him booked. He's definitely worth booking. He has opened up for Dru Hill, Ginuwine, Nappy Roots, just to name a few. Man, he's doing a doggone thing. What's going on, Dirty?
Hey, what's up, man? DJ Potential in the house, man. I love it. Thank you. First of all, I'm honored. I'm honored to be on the show. It's a blessing. Just shout out to your platform. Shout out to you. Shout out to my management team, Sean Bonner, Anthony Burkett, Miss Tara Thomas, Miss Lily. Hey, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for having me on. It's a blessing to be here.
Hey, it's a blessing to have you, man. I talk to a lot of great artists, and you definitely up in the upper echelon with the uniqueness that you bring. So tell us a little bit about how you got started.
So I grew up a church kid. I was a little church boy. I was a little bitty church boy running around, Jesus loves me, this I know, in front of the audience at 6, 7, 8 years old. So if that tells you anything. So just a real deep-seated history of music, man, just from way back. Shout out to the homies, the people that I had around me for really prodding me and saying, hey, you have something, go push it. You know what I'm saying? Show it to the world. And so I've been actively self-promoting for probably, I don't know, maybe a little over 6 years now. Right. So relatively new in the game per se, but been doing music since I was knee high to a grasshopper type deal. So it's been a good minute.
That's all right. So with that background of singing for the church, and shout out to the Lord, how easy was it for you to decide hey, I want to infuse the blend of my history, my roots into a little bit of what's happening now in the mainstream?
It wasn't. I don't think it was that quick or that direct per se. All I know is that when I was growing up, it was gospel. It was Tennessee Ernie Ford. It was the Gaither Vocal Band. It was all these super religious Christian groups. That's all I was allowed to listen to, with a splash of John Denver, Johnny Cash. My parents were super conservative.
I love Johnny Cash.
Super restrictive. Oh, me too, man. Johnny's a man. Yeah. But I grew up listening to a lot of that without any influences of hip hop or metal or rock or jazz or anything that was considered secular, right? Because that's all part of the religious upbringing. So then when I turned 16 and I was able to be legally emancipated, right, I left. I left home. I haven't been back since. I mean, shout out to my mom and my dad. We're all cool and everything, but I left and I was just I'm going to go find my own way. And it was then, like, well, probably I had involved myself in hip hop a little bit up to that point, right? But it was only
Right.
once I actually left that I was able to get me an iPod. I started filling it full of everything I could find, Lil Wayne, Busta Rhymes. I mean, you name it, just everything I could get my
Yeah.
hands on. And I was already writing poetry, right? That's another ironic part. So as a little church kid, I was writing poetry on handwritten notes, and I was making copies on the copier machine, and I was slinging poetry to the church people, like this got
Yeah.
the Trump, right?
Yeah.
And so I was giving poetry to all these church people, and they were all like, "Oh, it's so nice." And then when I started listening to hip hop, I started to realize, like, the fusion of poetry and music that's what hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? Like that feeling, that come together, blew my mind. So I mean, I got hip hop addict tattooed on my chest. You know what I'm saying? Like, for
Oh,
Christ's sake.
I
So
like that. I like that.
so that's pretty much a long and short of it. Like, when I got of age where I could leave and go discover my own music taste, I immediately fell deeply in love with hip hop, and I haven't looked back.
Man, I love it. And shout out to our friend over in Greece who dropped us a comment. I don't speak any Greek, and I'm quite sure that's like some Greek slang, but shout out to him anyways.
Hey, we don't
Uh,
speak Greek, but we love you anyways, man.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So like, man, that's a very unique story, and the mere fact that you went ahead and took that leap to get emancipated at 16 and go out on your own, that's like true independence, right? Like taking the responsibility and accountability for your life right then and there. Uh, would you say that like just with that early start that it has prepared you to be able to like handle the pressures and the workload that come with like trying to make it in this business?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. And if there's anything, because a lot of times when I talk about my past and my upbringing, the religious, like, it kind of has negative undertones sometimes just because of how
Mhm.
restrictive it was, right? But I will say that if I have to give anything to my upbringing, it would be a ridiculous work ethic. And that's honestly one of the things that's going to take you places, regardless of what industry you're trying to get into, right? Whether you're a singer, a painter, a bricklayer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to go hard. You have to go hard. And you have to believe in what you're doing. So yeah, no, I would 100% agree with you. By the time I was 16 years old, I got my first job at 11, my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about
Yeah.
that. Like, my pops, when I was little, like, talking 10, 11 years old, I was like asking him to buy me stuff. He's like, "No, go get a job and buy it yourself." So I started working around the neighborhood even long before I left. Like, I had a job from the age of 11 onwards. So by the time I hit 16 and I was like out on my own, a 50-hour work week plus my hobbies on the side, plus whatever I was nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it made sense. Like, I was already ready for it. So, like, when I really started actively pushing myself, that
Mhm.
work ethic has served me well. Like, that's one of the main things that I could call out about for any artist, upcoming or otherwise. You know what I mean? If you want something, you
Right.
got to work. You got to work hard. You got to go get it. So
Most
yeah, I
definitely.
would definitely say, yeah, it's leaving early. So by the time I matured a little bit and actually began to realize that music was my true career,
Mhm.
it just made sense. Like, that
I
work.
like that. I like that, man. I like that a lot. I respect that a lot, and and I can share a similar story with that. Like, what would you like? What's been the hardest thing, since grinding it hard? Like, cause like most kids today, they think that like hey, all I gotta do is just put a song on YouTube and like it's gonna blow up. But I know it's more work than that. I know like you had the opportunity to like open up for like some incredible artists, man, like Ginuwine, Dru Hill, Nappy Roots, like So what's been the hardest part about being able to like get even there?
So what? Well, probably the hardest part for me was finding a team that I could depend on,
Mhm.
that would focus themselves on me and what we were trying to do. There's so much ego, there's so much
Yeah.
pride, there's so much, you know what I mean? Like, just so many different things that get in the way sometimes. I think that's genuinely the hardest thing, because for a long, long time, I wasn't under management. Once again, shout out to Sean and Anthony, because I'm blessed to have the two of them. They've got my back, and the way the synchrony's happening with us, like, where I am right now is miles beyond where I was before I
Right.
started messing with them. But I think probably that was the hardest part. Just finding a team and finding somebody because when you're independent and you do everything yourself, it's easy to
Mhm.
let things slip through the cracks sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you're working
Yeah.
endlessly. It takes the fun out of it. You know what I mean? Like to be in the studio and to be in that creative mindset, you got to be in a good frame of mind, you know. And when you're messing with Facebook ads, Google ads, blog placements, media placements, mixtape placements, dealing with DJs, paying everything, like, you know, organizing everything, it's a lot. You know, setting up your BMIs, setting up your ASCAPs, setting up your, you know, all the different, you know, mechanical royalties that are involved, things that I didn't know anything about. Like I had to reach out and find all those pieces of information and bring them all together. So as an independent artist, yeah, highly suggest find you a team, build a team, find a team, whatever you have to do to get some people that support you, because, you know, many hands make light work. That's really the hardest part about it, is finding people that you can depend on.
I like that, man. You know, it really, you know, put some rawness and some realness, and really shows that you're really authentic and really passionate about your craft. Would you do anything differently, or would you, like, if you had the opportunity to sign to a record label, what you do?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, if I was signed to a label, it would be a similar situation, right? If you get signed to a label, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to put a team on you. You know what I mean? If you're a solo guy that just walks in off the street with, you know, a bunch of music and talent, and they want to sign you, that's the very first thing they're doing after you sign paperwork. They're putting a team on you. They're assigning you 6 head of people. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give you a stylist. They're going to give you you know, a branding guy. They're going to give you a social media guy. They're going to give you a promo guy. They're going to give you a, you know what I mean? They're going to hit you with all these different individuals. So if I was to ever get signed by a label, I mean, the reality is, you know, you're using their resources to pursue your own project to hopefully make a profit, right? When the day that does happen, I mean, I'm going to make sure that the team gets taken care of, because they work endlessly. You know, once again, shout out CBT Studios. That's where I record. My buddy DJ Young Will, and my buddy Bobby Dallas. Those are 2 more instrumental people that have helped create a situation that I can build and be creative in. So, you know, once again, if labels reach out to us, we're gonna pursue it properly, but we're not gonna chase anybody. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we have the product. Like, we are the product. You know what I mean? We are the team. So when it comes down to it, they're gonna have to come to us and figure out what they can do to make us happy, basically.
Yeah, and shout out to Anthony Whitehead for, you know, his comment. He said you have to have strong work ethic. So so just recognizing again just that importance of work ethic. So that's and you laying it out, man. Like I said, you know, this is stuff that like the audience really need to hear. This is stuff, the type of stuff like audience really appreciate. And just to switch gears just a little bit, because like you mentioned product. Let's talk about that product, man, because like you got some slamming stuff, and I don't think people, you know, really understand it, you know. And have you ever gotten any feedback after people listen to you for the first time? They say, "Wait, man, I didn't expect that," or anything like that.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, man. I try to take. I don't think I have any music out that's mindless, and I think that's one of the biggest call outs that I can really make about myself, if I could. Excuse me. There's so many artists, especially nowadays with this being as oversaturated it is. Like you said, there are so many people that go in their mom's basement and decide to record and throw something on SoundCloud and think it's going to blow up, or, you know. And shout out to every person who's creating, because I'm not anti-artist. I'm not anti-creation by any means. I love every single person who decides to write a rhyme or write a song or sing something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, create endlessly. I love you. But I think that's one of the main call outs about my music in particular. If you go through my catalog, you're not going to find any mindless songs that just don't mean anything. You know what I mean? There's every single song that I put out, you know, it has to mean something, or bring some sort of, you know, something to the table, whether it be just rhymes, production. I mean, because once again, side note, oh my goodness, sorry about that. Side note, I actually self-produce all my own music, right? So if you go on my page, you're going to find some songs that are from producers, right? Because I love producers. Once again, if I find some fire stuff, I'll definitely link with a producer and collaborate. But the vast majority of my actual songs, if you go on my page, are all self-produced. I write all my own stuff. I play my own instruments. I build the track from the ground up. The only person that touches it is my vocal engineer. Shout out to Lil Ed and Charlotte. But, you know, it's a journey. So I appreciate you acknowledging the discography, because a massive amount of work has gone into that, for sure.
Yeah, indeed, man. And if somebody really wanted to get to know like you as an artist, and really get a feel of what you're gonna bring, if they was about to like check out your entire library, Is there a particular song you would like recommend? Like, hey, this is gonna give you like an understanding of what we bring in.
Ah, that's such a good question. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
It's a hard question to answer, and I'll tell you why. I am a multi-genreic artist. All
Mhm.
right. If you go on my page right now, you're gonna find some soft, beautiful baby making music.
I like it.
You're gonna find some well executed piano ballads, covers of classic songs,
Ooh.
right? Roberta Flack, Smokey Robinson, etc.
Ooh.
You're gonna find metal, okay,
Oh yeah,
gutturals and
we need that.
screams and guitars.
Yeah.
You're gonna find a whole bunch of gang ish, if you
Gang
catch my
gang.
drift.
Yeah.
Because I got bars for days. That's the thing. Long before I met my
Yeah.
management team, Sean, and all that, like when I was 16, 17, 18, I was rapping. I was not a singer. Like I could sing very well. I just refused to, right? I was a rapper. I mean, a rapper's rapper for years. I mean, bro, like go on the page. I promise you, you're going to find bars, like bars and bars and bars. But that's the thing. That's the beauty of my page is if you go on there to define myself. Most recently, I would probably say trap soul, right? Like if
Right.
I could point the viewers towards one song, I would say go listen to "Reckless and Romance" is a great one. Go listen to "Reasons." That's a piano ballad. Go listen to "The Proof." You know my name. Super soulful guitar inspired trap song with a feature from my buddy Kisama from Arizona.
Yeah.
I could keep on naming them. You're going to find something that you like, though. And that's what I want to shout out to the audience. I love every single one of you guys. If you go on my page, if you don't like a song, just push next. I promise you, just push next because the next song that you hear is not going to be the same genre. It's not going to be the same feel. It's not going to sound the same. My music is, I mean, I'm
I,
all over the place. I'm all over the
I
place.
like that, man. And I was having this conversation with somebody the other day about like how it's good to be multi blended and to be able to have that type of those type of songs for different moments and different emotions, and you really hitting it because like I tell anybody like I'll put on some metal whenever I need that energy, when I need to really get in the zone, really need to feel aggressive about what I'm doing.
Who do you listen to? Who do you listen to?
Man, I you know what? You gonna make me go to my Spotify because
Tell me, because put me on. I listen to all kinds of stuff, man. Tell me what you
yeah,
want right now.
man, I got all type of stuff in here, man, and like some stuff that I just listen to the instrumentals and just let the instrumental play because like that alone it can get me ready. Um, so I might have some stuff in here. I know I got some stuff in here that like that people may not even recognize. Uh,
Oh, same. If I could show you my Apple Music playlist right now, everybody would be horrified.
yeah, yeah. I sometimes I sit back and I'm listening to Jimi Hendrix. I was just listening to that Electric Ladyland.
There we go.
Just the other day, it just popped up like at the top of my list. So I got. Yeah, I'm a lover of music, man. So we put it like that. We can rap about that whatever you
Nah,
want to.
that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the music. Shout out to all the music lovers that aren't scared to put different genres on the same playlist.
Yeah, yeah, and I do that. I do that, and that's one thing about our radio station is that like we love having people like be a part of like what we got going on over here because like that's so important to have those different music undertones that like really trigger each emotion, each mood. Because you never know what mood you might be in. You might not want to hear the same thing like that you was listening to yesterday. And I think people then got so complacent to the point where like, oh, I'm just going to listen to the same thing today, tomorrow, like, and you wonder why you're going to stuck in the same mood.
Right. Yeah. No, you can't. If the more you mix it up, like music evokes different emotions, but there are also
Yeah.
there's also different subgenres within each genre, and it's so vast now, right? So you could start
Yeah,
out
it
listening
is.
to somebody like you could start out listening to Bryson Tiller
Mhm.
and end up listening to Corey Henry, right? You could start listening to Roddy Rich and end up listening to, I mean, name somebody, Future. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different, like, you know what I mean? My playlist has everything from Drake to, you know, prog metal bands like Animals as Leaders. I mean, I listen to like, you know, Cannibal Corpse sometimes, like super brutal stuff, and then go all the way back to something light and fluffy, like we said, Roberta Flack, Stevie Wonder. I'm listening to Lionel Richie. I'm listening to, I don't know, man. It's just, music is a beautiful thing, man. I love music, man. If you can't tell, I'm music is what drives all of us. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, I got two more questions for you, and then I'm not gonna hold you up. You know, so like the first question, you know, if you had like a dream collab that you know you would do, it's a question I ask everybody. Is there anybody out there you know that you would want to reach out to, or like you know you'd be open if they reached out to you, like, hey, you know, I was waiting for this.
Right. So that's a two-part answer. The first one being is I'm actually already doing that with one of my dream collaborators. Okay. Shout out to Sean Bonner once again, my management team. You know Blackstreet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Classic R&B group. Okay.
Yes.
I actually have in the process of making. We're going to finish it up in February. A 5-song EP produced by Jay Styles, a member of Blackstreet, right? The youngest member of Blackstreet right now in Charlotte, North Carolina. Me and him are collaborating on a 5-song project. I'm not supposed to tell nobody about it because it's a secret, but oops, I guess the cat's out of the bag.
Oh, is out here? We heard it here first.
You asked me that question, man. Dream collabs, bro. Like I have always dreamed of collabing with, I mean, that's Blackstreet is on a list of people that I would love to collaborate with. And so when my manager hit me up and said, hey, we're going to go do some songs with Jay Styles from Blackstreet, I was, what? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? And Jay is the most humble. You know, I felt like I was going to be starstruck. I felt like I was going to be like, and I was for a few minutes, like I was in awe, like to be in the studio with this guy. But when I say Jay is the most humble, talented, hardworking, like inspiring person, man. Jay's become super important to me, you know, just personally and musically, and he inspires me, man. The dude can sing his know what off, bro. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
man.
That whole group got piped. So you know,
I swear. So shout out to Jay. I love you, bro. So that's number one. Number two, if I had to have a dream collab, I really want a song with Silk Sonic. I know you know Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak put together this super group called Silk Sonic. Ooh, boy, I tell you what, I would burn it down. Bruno Anderson, if you're listening, hit my manager up because let's make it happen. Let's put this everywhere. I'm gonna upload this clip. I'm tagging y'all. I'm atting y'all. DJ Potential, you heard it first. Give me that Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars feature. I want that Silk Sonic, man.
I'm definitely a petition on your behalf too. You know,
I swear, man. Let's burn them up. I'm gonna burn the notifications up with this one.
Hey, so like, man, you know, we heard a little bit of hint of your voice there. Like, you want to give us a little liner?
So I'm messing around, you know. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? I just something slight, but you know, when it comes down to like when it's the falsetto part is what I've really been. So like I have to say personally, like I've developed my falsetto ridiculously, but probably in the last couple years. Like I wasn't much of a falsetto singer beforehand. Like I didn't really care to. So I've got like tones where like those are my nice like head voice tones, and then you go. You know what I'm saying? Like bust out a little run. So shout out to Chris Brown. You remember that song "With You" by Chris Brown? You remember?
Yeah.
Remember at the very end, he's like, "With you, with you, with you, with you, with you, hey yeah." Like right at the end. That was the very first song that made me want to sing like R&B, like run style R&B. Right before that, I was singing like power ballads and big heavy gospel stuff, and wasn't doing a whole lot of runs or like fancy stuff. Yeah. The ending of that song, that little note he did right at the end.
Right.
That's what inspired me to do runs, bro. I was a different person after I heard that song. Like at the very end, I was like, I have to learn how to do that. And I sat at the piano for a good 2 weeks, Potential. Like I swear I did. I sat there and how did he do it? Ooh. That's what made me, Now I'm all over the place with it now. Shout out to all the R&B singers, man. R&B is beautiful. I love it.
It's
pretty awesome.
Like, and runs is really hard placement to put in a song. Like, you know, you can like kill it with a run if you put it in the right spot.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, man, I love it. Like, and I'm glad you got it in your music. So more of a reason to check out this music.
Something's like.
So do you have any like words, final words, or anything out there, like like maybe some upcoming events or concerts that you want to just put out there before like we close it on out?
So two or three couple key things. I appreciate you giving me a chance to talk my smack today. I just want to shout out to DJ's Potential. I just want to shout out to Transformer Radio for having me on. I want to shout out once again my management team: Sean Bonner, Anthony Burkett, Miss Tara Thomas, and her assistant Lily. All four super instrumental. I want to shout out DJ Young Will again, CBT Studios, my boy Bobby Dallas. I want to shout out my man TVM Killer. He's doing great things here in the city, and I love him to death. If I could tell the audience anything, please go find my music. Please go check me out. I think I probably push my YouTube page harder than any. Not to sound cliche, but YouTube pays the most per stream. So go check out the YouTube. Of course, go get me on Apple Music, Spotify. On social medias, I am Dirty F White, like Wheezy F Baby. I don't know if you can see, but I'm a bit of a Wayne head. Okay, so if you go on my social medias, Dirty F White, like Wheezy F Baby, and the F is for phenomenal.
Right now.
The F is for phenomenal. Right there. Dirty F White, please go find the social medias. That's got links to everything. If you go on YouTube, you'll also type in Dirty F White or Dirty White. Either one of those things will work. If you're looking for me on Apple Music or Spotify, Deezer Radio, Pandora, Audio Mac, any of these types of platforms, SoundCloud, it's just simply Dirty White, one word. Okay. The only reason I did Dirty F White on all my social medias was because I couldn't get Dirty White. Somebody already has it, I guess. So Dirty F White on all social medias, just Dirty White, all one word, on Apple Music, Spotify, all the streaming platforms. I just released a single called What a Time We Had. It's like a real smooth, silky guitar inspired ballad that has a huge build up, and the note at the end just will blow you away. It's an absolutely gorgeous song mixed by my boy Little Ed. Shout out to Little Ed again. If I had to point you towards anything, it would be that. What a Time We Had, the most recent release. Stay tuned for a whole lot of tour dates. I can't give any dates away yet because we're still putting the tour together. But under management, once again, they've been working on a whole list of incredible opportunities. So I'm hopefully going to be opening up for Maxwell on a couple of dates on his tour this coming year. And, just a lot of announcement coming. So the best way to really keep up with me, if you want to see me live or interact with any of my material, please just go find me on social media. Send me a DM on Instagram if you want to. I always reply to every single comment. I always reply to every single DM. Go hit me up, Dirty F White, on all social medias, and stream some music and tell me what you think. If I'm doo-doo, let me know. If I'm good, let me know. Either way. But I just appreciate the love, man, for real.
We gonna have that problem. We got shout out once again to Anthony White, who was waiting for for me to pull that up for him, so we dropped that.
Throw it up.
Of course, like so of course we gonna have all of that information in the episode description of the playback. If you guys are watching right now, you'll be able to catch all that and much more. Dirty man, I definitely got to get to that Maxwell concert. Make sure I know when that drops, because I'm gonna take my girl. She gonna like that. She gonna like that a lot.
Oh, trust me, with the team I've got together, some incredible stuff is happening, and I post about everything. Right, I'm an over poster. I'll put it on the story 1,000 times. I'll put it on my page. Like, trust me, before anything goes down, everybody will know. You guys will know.
Okay, cool. All right, so thank you once again, good folks out there, for checking us out. Dirty F White from the NC, he's from North Kakalaki, so you want to catch up with him, and get all the information. Stay locked to catch his library. This is Kinetic PE Mix Show. I'm your host, DJ Potential. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you're watching on YouTube. Many blessings, peace, and lots of love. We are out of here.